Gates Adams here on behalf of Apex Trader Funding, and I'm here today with Devin. Devin is one of Apex Trader Funding's paid funded traders, so we had an opportunity to get a chance to connect on here and get a little bit of insight from him. So Devin, thanks for hanging out with me today. I appreciate your time. How's everything going?
Thanks for having me. Everything's going real well right now, especially after this payout. Nothing could get better than this, and I'm looking forward to more.
Is this your first payout, or is this in a string of payouts for you?
This is actually my first payout with Apex Trader Funding. Okay. I have been paid out and worked with other firms before. Yeah, this is my first payout with Apex.
If you don't mind my asking, without necessarily mentioning names, what moved you from other firms over to Apex?
It wasn't necessarily what moved me. I still am, contracted under those firms, but it was mainly the diversification of portfolios that made me want to open up accounts with Apex. And I mean, honestly, I think Apex is a great platform in general. I've seen and I've heard a lot about it. The testimonials, the willingness for Apex to go out of their way to normal customer service things like, payment processing. Right. Things like that. So I really appreciate that.
So let's learn a little bit about you, Devin. How long have you been trading now?
So I started summer of 2020, and so now it's 4 years, just about a little over.
So you're kind of a COVID baby.
I am a COVID baby. Yeah.
Awesome.
I absolutely took advantage of that time.
So what actually brought you into the world of trading? How did you get into it?
So I was a senior in high school, sitting in my macroeconomics class, and I'm just scrolling through Instagram. I come across a post of some Peru I see online. He's showing his MetaTrader profits, and I'm just looking at it like, okay, I don't understand. All I see is numbers, but I see dollar signs, I see USD, which means money. Immediately, I'm like, okay, that's a whole lot of money. That's a whole lot of numbers. I got to find out what this guy is doing. And so I do a little bit of research, and I find out he's doing Forex. So that a little bit about me, that background is I came from Forex, opened accounts with Forex prop firms, went through the losses of those accounts, the booms and the busts, and even throughout the whole investigation and the scrutiny of the Forex market when these prop firms started coming out. And a lot of Forex traders have actually transitioned to futures because of that. And I'm part of that group.
Sadly, a common story, but good for the futures market and for futures firms. When you started, obviously you learned your strategies in Forex. How was it for you transitioning from Forex to futures in terms of how you trade, how you manage your trades and things like that?
When it came to Forex and futures, the only thing different was obviously the position sizing, the contract sizing. I didn't really have too much of a problem doing math, but as far as the technical analysis and my strategy, it's the volatility of whatever pair or instrument that you're trading. Like, for example, when you're trading NQ versus trading a Forex pair, NQ moves more in terms of points compared to the GBP USD pair, right?
Right.
And the sizing that goes along with it. So understanding the difference between micros and minis and how volatile and how much it can move in your favor and how much it can move against you was a pretty crucial thing for me, because it was easy to over leverage.
Now, that's a pretty nominal thing to try to fix, because again, you can adjust your sizing and particularly if you're using something like TradingView, you can automatically have it
Right.
adjust for you. So that certainly makes that portion easier. As far as the strategy goes, it was a fairly seamless transition?
The strategy, it was fairly seamless, because price action in general, like my strategy wise, I use liquidity, I use ICT concepts. I'm sure you're familiar.
Oh, yeah.
It applies to anything that's electronically traded, really.
Right.
Reading the price action, I call it really like the forces. Like when in physics, you have mass, you have volume, you have momentum, you have speed. And I kind of apply that to what I'm looking at on the charts and the way that I trade, because I'm a scalper. So a lot of my trades will be on the momentum, because I'm only looking to capture a small portion, a small piece of the market, and it's all that I need, as long as I have the right bias in the right direction. So price is fractal. It applies to all time frames. That's what I understand and that's what I know. And that's how I've transitioned no matter what pairs I'm trading. What you see on one time frame, you will see on all the other time frames above or below it. The only difference is probably the scheduling. Different pairs pairs, understanding their behaviors and their tendencies.
Clearly things are moving in the right direction for you. So now as you look at the markets moving forward, your role as a trader here, and what is it that you're looking forward to next? Like what does the progression look like for you from here?
I plan to get more accounts because I definitely have not been max allocated with Apex yet. Definitely looking to reinvest my profits into Apex, getting more accounts so I can secure, larger, bigger payouts. Firm portfolio is one of my biggest things, like I mentioned before.
So if you're talking to a new trader just getting started, getting their first evaluation maybe with Apex, what's the biggest piece of advice that you give somebody moving into that space now?
Every prop firm has different rules. Apex, their trailing equity drawdown it's real tough. But I will say that if you have a profit-taking system, and I'm not saying like if you need a profit-taking system
right
to secure that, you'll easily get into that drawdown if you don't, and especially if you over leverage. Have a good profit-taking system. Know not only when you're going to enter, but where you're going to exit. And how much you're going to scale off of that position, and whether or not you're letting price run.
Well, and I would assume that sizing matters in situations like this. I mean, if you've got a bigger position, then a retracement is going to have a little bit more of an effect. Knowing where your tolerance is, I think, is going to be a huge factor in terms of managing that as well.
Absolutely.
Well, I appreciate you taking some time and hanging out with me today and sharing some of your insight and some of your experience. And let's catch up a few months down the road, see how everything's going.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate you for taking your time as well.
Well, keep doing what you're doing, man. Sounds like it's working. Thanks, Devin. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.